All right, what's up, Raina? So, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. This is What's Up with Therapy. I'm your man, Greg Hammonds, and I'm here with the wonderful Raina Smith, who is a licensed clinical professional counselor. And I'm just so glad to have you, Ray. Like, I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. And especially given this being Mental Health Awareness Month, why don't you just go ahead and tell the people a little bit about yourself, what it is you do, and why you're on the call today.
Right. So like you mentioned, my name is Raina Smith. I am a licensed professional clinical counselor here in Cincinnati. So full time, I work in collegiate mental health at a university here in Cincinnati. And I just recently started my own private practice about, I think it was October of 2019. So I've been in practice for myself for a while now. And I'm also a PhD student getting a doctorate in counselor education and supervision. So I do a whole lot of things: mental health, taking care of everybody's mind, taking care of my own mind. And in terms of being on this call today, I know we just want to spread the word, start the dialogue, and really kind of put resources out there to get access to mental health services.
Absolutely. It's so important and it's really critical right now, given we're going through COVID-19 and a lot of people are dealing with depression, anxiety, and so forth. So just want to, let the people get an understanding for why you got into the mental health field. So what made you pursue a career in this arena? Were there any things that specifically inspired you?
Mhm. I would say starting out initially in my family, there is a history of extensive drug abuse, alcohol abuse, infidelities, kind of things like that that really, shake a family. So the individual itself, but also a family at their core. So really kind of seeing those things, seeing the effects on my family. And I'm like, wow, who's helping these people? And the answer at the time was no one. And even looking back, I'm like, what could have been done to help people? And definitely looking at the mental struggles that some of my family members went through, but not getting the support. So moving forward through college, I'm like, okay, I want to get into psychology. So that's what I majored in at Miami University. And I'm like, okay, well, what do I do with this? How do I use my passion, my talents to help? So I decided to pursue a master's in clinical mental health counseling. And for me, it's just been incredible to, I guess, connect with people, and that's what I wanted to create these relationships, to build this rapport, and to really help people in their mental health and helping them move forward.
Dope. No, I feel that. And I can totally relate to just wanting to be that light and wanting to serve your community, your family, and the people directly around you. So, on that note, like, how are you showing up for yourself and your family during these times? What type of things are you doing to like keep your mind clear, focused, and healthy?
A lot. So, well, biggest for me, I'm in therapy myself. So, I would say biweekly, I see my therapist. Right now because of COVID. We're doing telehealth over video, which is, fine. And I really enjoy kind of being in the comfort of my own home doing that. But it's so helpful to me, as a therapist to take a break and get my own therapy, get my own help and my own support. So that has been super helpful. I connect with friends often, colleagues often, to just not even vent, but to just kind of have that social support, have these connections that I had when I was outside, when outside was open. And because it's no longer, we have to kind of make do and adjust with what we have, and whether that's Zoom, different apps, FaceTime, texting, anything like that is just helpful to kind of ease my mind. Um, Journaling has been big for me, and since I started in this field of therapy, is just kind of being able to write things down. And there's just so much power in our own words. And for me, it's this idea of taking what's in our head and putting it to paper, or putting it, in the note section of your phone, or putting it somewhere, because I think of our thoughts and our emotions kind of just jumbled up in our mind like this.
Hmm.
As we can kind of pull them out one by one, it's so just powerful to kind of see, what we're thinking. So things like that, getting outside, taking walks, eating right, exercising when I can, has just all been helpful for me to kind of be mindful during this time. And also encouraging my family to do the same. Sometimes people are hard-headed and don't
Don't want to listen.
don't listen, but our parents are older, so encouraging them to eat better, drink their water, take walks, get outside. The same things I'm doing, I would love for them to do as well, and just kind of
Yeah.
stay healthy, staying safe, and just um, I think mindfulness is a good word for this time to really work
Mhm.
on, I guess, being present, because we're so stuck in like, okay, I can't wait till outside open back up. What I'm gonna do when I get back outside? Like we're thinking so far ahead, but like we have no dates in terms of when this will be over, and there's just so much like I guess uncertainty. Like so to be mindful and to be present with right now and be I guess accepting of what we have and kind of making do with that.
Yes, I love it. Like it's like you have to be present. And I've been going through therapy for over a month now, and it's been life changing. It's just like the things you're saying and the fact that you're in this field is just so inspiring and uplifting to me because when I'm talking to my therapist, it's like, he'll bring up things like mindfulness and it makes me really take a different look at my thoughts. And so it's like to step back and think like, wow, I thought this thought, which led me to do this thing, and
Mhm.
like now I'm impacted like this. It's just like wow, when like you're saying, typically your thoughts are so jumbled up and your emotions are in there, and so things just happen and you feel like there's no way to separate like thoughts from actions. But I feel like with therapy and with mindfulness it's possible. So could you just shed some light on what do you think are like the biggest benefits of therapy, and kind of like what value that it truly adds to people's lives, especially given right now, and specifically I know you focus on a lot of youth. Like what
Mhm.
are the values for us?
I would say just having a safe and non-judgmental space to talk about and process and think about your thoughts and feelings and emotions, behaviors, and things like that. Because if you really think about it, like how often do you get a chance to sit with yourself and sit with your feelings? And depending on your how you were raised or your upbringing, we were taught not to feel. It was always okay, get over it,
Yep.
pray about it, figure it out. But it was never like, okay, it's okay for you to feel that way. So I think a major benefit is just finally allowing yourself this space to feel, to process, and like I said, kind of find some clarity in your thoughts. And what a therapist can do for you is to help you organize that. Like we're not giving advice. Like if you ask us what to do, we're not going to tell you that, but it's more so I guess a team effort to help you align with your goals and really make some progress there. So, like I said, not telling you what to do, but really kind of being a support and a teammate for you to help you clarify and better understand and almost give you a different perspective on what you were feeling. Because, like you said, you had like tunnel vision on one thought of what you did and how what the outcome was. But a therapist can help you kind of look through this different lens. Like, okay, that's how you think. That's great. I support that. But let's look at it from this way and see what that feels like.
Love it. And I can totally relate to that. And one of the things that I've loved most about therapy is like having this person be there who is simply there for me, right? It's like, and at the beginning, I was a little nervous, like, wait a minute, like, do you want to tell me what you think? Like, what's going on with your life? Do I need to get to know you so you can get to know
Mhm.
me? And it's like, no, like, this is centrally about you. Like, what's going on with you? How do you see your thoughts? And I feel like the huge value add is that, like, you will like the therapist will see things from a different perspective and allow you to see things from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Being the focus area is like super helpful. And like I know a lot of times, especially within the Black community and a lot of different communities, people are like, yo, therapy may not be for me because I've never done it before, or it may not be for me because I can't afford it. So what type of things are out there for our communities who just may want to like try some quick, very inexpensive practices to start the therapy journey? Like, are there things that people can do or things that people can like get into?
Mhm. Well, first, I would say in terms of kind of, not so much saving money, but like most therapists offer like a free consultation. And that can even give you a foot in the door to see if, that's somebody you want to connect with, a path that you want to take if you want to get into therapy. There are other programs like Open Path Collective. That's a really good one. And that's of a more affordable resource. So you connect with a therapist that's listed there and you can set a rate between, I think, $30 and $60. And also just with social media, that's a huge thing right now. There are tons of people, there are tons of therapists, clinicians, psychologists, psychiatrists putting information out there. And while that doesn't substitute for therapy, that is a good place to kind of start to educate yourself and learn more and kind of get in on this dialogue to, I guess, understand mental health and again decide if that's something that you want to get into, because it's scary to start and say like, hey, I need help. So people want to do their research. They want to look at background stuff, which is fine. And I definitely, recommend that, but not being afraid to take that leap. But I would say, social media is probably like the most effective and free resource right now because, it's available to everyone, and there's just so much information out there, and it's completely free. So being able to take that and maybe using that as a stepping stone to getting into, sessions and therapy and making moves that way.
That's dope. And I like that because, right now, so many people are putting things online for free and
Mhm.
because of COVID-19. I know specifically like Taraji P. Henson is like doing a huge push for mental health awareness in the Black community and giving out therapy and things like that. So do you think when you're doing your practice, do you notice like any consistent themes of like threats or issues that are facing the Black community in terms of mental health that we can sort of unpack and just like understand better to help move us forward?
Yeah. I would say the top two things I see within my Black clients specifically is anxiety and depression. Anxiety, and a lot of that relates to, like I mentioned before, kind of like the upbringing, the environment, and not really having this space to feel or to process. So we have this kind of level of perfection sometimes that we want to reach. And what anxiety is, it is kind of this excessive worry about something future oriented or something that we're just kind of overthinking, and that really encompasses our mind, and it's hard to shake. So we're always looking ahead, and that's why I mentioned mindfulness earlier, to be very present. But I would say anxiety is the major thing that I see, whether people think they're not good enough, scared of what people will think or say about them, worried about the future, worried about career, but it's always kind of something that they're worried about, or something that they feel that they should be doing, that they have to be doing. And I think just in line with that, depression, being stuck in the house will have you not
It's
not
real.
happy. We're thrown off of our routine. We're doing things differently. Some parents have automatically turned into teachers. Like it's just there's so many factors there that can cause us to feel upset that our lives don't look the way we want them to look, or wasn't what we expected out of this year. People are like, oh, 2020 is over. Like, I can't do nothing this year. I can't travel. I can't do this. I can't do that. And they're looking at it as a whole. So we have to learn to bring ourselves back to present, to today, to focus on things literally a day at a time. And it's just this idea of we have so little control over so much, but we got us. We have us, and we
Yeah.
have influence over our family sometimes, so we can control what is in our immediate household, and that is what the focus should be on. Because if we're worried about anything outside, that'll just stress us out and overwhelm us, because what can we control there? Not
Right. You're right. And it's like, I think that whole concept of like what you can control versus what you can't is so important to understand. And something you said that really stuck with me is that you said like we got each other. And that's true. Like at the end of the day, you do have those friends who you can hop on FaceTime with or like call up. And I think during these times, it's so important to lean on each other. I remember last summer, I was running like a summer program, and something I would always tell the students was like, we got love, we got soul, and we got each other. And it's just like, if you just bring yourself back to the present, like you're saying, and just realize that, I think it can help a whole lot. So Raina, this has been super duper helpful. Just like getting you to talk about this and knowing you are a professional in this field, I think it's inspiring to see you and hear you. So are there any final thoughts, suggestions, pieces of advice that you have for the people listening?
um I would say it's super cliche, but it's literally okay to not be or feel okay. Sometimes we feel things and we try to fight them. It's okay to sit with our feelings, speak up, and advocate for ourselves when we need help. To reach out to people, or to be vocal with yourself and be real with yourself. Because, like I said, in trying to hide or distract from our feelings, we're never really solving anything. We're not making any progress, and that feeling will sit there and cycle forever and ever until we break that cycle. And I know there's such this huge stigma around mental health, especially in the Black community, but it's time to like break that down. It's 2020.
Let's go.
We don't have time to not have a clear and sound mind. Like, we take care of our physical health, so we should do the exact same with our mental, and whatever that looks like for you. And of course, as a therapist, I definitely recommend seeking therapy, but of course, do your homework, do your research, and make sure that whoever you're working with is a good fit for you.
I love it. Now, how can the people stay in touch with you? How can they reach out for you to get on your client list? Because I know you be doing your thing. You be helping people clear their minds. So let us know how they can stay in touch.
Yeah, so I am on Instagram at Limitless Counseling. So LIMITLESS Counseling 513. You can reach me via email at Reyna, REYNA at limitlessccs.com, and my website to check out more information about me, about my services, about rates, insurance, things like that is limitlessccs.com.
Thank you so much, Reyna. Appreciate you coming to talk about what's up with therapy. You're the bomb, and we so appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.